What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Stocks by the Numbers. And again, I'm coming at you with another material company here. We're taking a look at Alcoa Corporation, ticker symbol AA. Right now, stock's up a little less than 2%, sitting here a little over $50 a share. We're looking at a $9.25 billion market cap. Beta even higher than U.S. Steel, 2.35 beta, with a PE of 13, earning almost $4 a share. And they pay you a dividend to own it. That's the one thing I like about all these material companies here. You're looking at long-term growth, and they give you dividends to own them. I mean, excuse me. I mean, that's a win-win right there, in my opinion. This is a 5-year chart here, and look, see, we're going down into COVID, March 2020, $6 a share. I stepped in. I had like 20s, like out to here or something. They were. I couldn't even tell you, but I actually made a killing here on Alcoa. The stock rallied from $6 up to $90. They took it 52-week high, 98.09. Now it's sitting here at 50. Looks almost like it came down and it's about to make a U-turn potentially. Why? Because it's still undervalued. We're looking at $9.25 billion market cap, and again, we come down here. Look, annually, 13. 10, 9, 12. Over the quarters, look at this, increasing. Almost 3 billion, 3.1 billion, 3.3 billion, 3.3 billion. Decent earnings coming off these numbers too. It looks like it's about 10 to 15%. Definitely nothing to sneeze at. Look at these EPS beats over here just climbing. Look, $1.49 actual here in Q2 of 2021. Q1 2022, 306 estimating. 286 here mid-July for this quarter coming up. So, in my opinion, long term, I think this is definitely a buy. This is a max chart here. Look at these huge spikes over the years. Usually when there's any type of turmoil or any type of shortages or scarcities, I mean, these material companies absolutely explode, which is why I'm bringing them to your attention now. Again, God forbid if anything happens overseas, Eastern Europe, if we get pulled into a war, or if inflation keeps skyrocketing, it's the material companies. We're still going to need our lumber. We're still going to need our steel. We're still going to need our aluminum. Even back here, I think like right around when COVID started, they were already talking about an aluminum shortage. And I remember saying, Alcoa has to go up because that's where they get aluminum from. Well, one of the companies anyway. And that's exactly what happened. The stock started to rally. Next thing I know, $20, $30, $60, and again, almost up to $100 a share. And it is justified, in my opinion, to reiterate. These companies were tremendously undervalued. Just like I always bring up, if you go back to my Goodyear tire video. I mean, these companies, right now the stock's like $11, $12 a share or something. It's been hovering around. And again, if you look at the numbers and if you want to look at long-term growth, if we turn around in 3 or 4 years and that's a $60 stock, $70 stock, $100 stock, that is 110% justified because they are suppressing it. I mean, look at the way that they were selling this off and slowly bringing this down over the months and over the year, going into COVID down to $6 a share. But this whole time there was an aluminum shortage, which is why I was a buyer. And then eventually the proof is in the pudding, everything comes to fruition, and then the stock absolutely skyrockets. And the problem is, even if you got in late here at like $40, $50 a share, yeah, you still made a killing. But remember, again, I apologize I didn't have the YouTube channel up, but if I did have the YouTube channel up, I definitely would have made a video and said, I'm a buyer here at 6, 8, 11, 13, 15. I am a buyer 110%. And, if we knew each other back then, you guys, again, just like with LPX, we've seen with the smaller cap company, because they're smaller so they move higher, you would have seen 3, 4, 500% returns. But again, long term, I still think this is a buy. This has the highest PE out of all the other companies I looked at, yet still, in my opinion, I think it's a buy. Again, $9.25 billion market cap, and they're doing more than that for the year. And they're trading about 3 times quarter revenue right now. So believe it or not, conservatively, if we look at the numbers, in my opinion, Alcoa seems to be the quote-unquote realist one, if we will, the one that's closest to trading to like a fair value. But again, in my opinion, I still think it's worth more. Because remember, we don't just look at quarters, we look at years. And if the company's doing north of $10 billion in total revenue for the year, then the market cap only being $9 billion makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. unless they're losing money per share, or there's other outlying circumstances that are preventing the company from going higher. But here again, we got a PE of 13, earning almost $4 a share, so they're not losing money per share. They're trading 13 times their EPS, and they also pay you a dividend to own it. So again, short term, here looks like a little support here around this $45, $46 level. Can it drop another 10% in this volatile, uncertain market? Absolutely, mainly because it went up so high. But again, in my opinion, I feel I am a buyer here at $50 a share. If it does pull back to $46, $45 a share, I'm going to be even a bigger buyer. Because again, men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. And long term, even if it pulls back slightly after it hits that support level, it's really not going to matter. Because when you're investing long term, you just want to park it there and you want to wait. You want to come back 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now to see where the stock is going to be. And in my opinion, this is still tremendously undervalued. And all of these companies like U.S. Steel, Alcoa, Louisiana Pacific, Weyerhaeuser, all of these material companies, even Freeport-McMoRan back down here, FCX, all of these companies have started to see tremendous growth inside of the last 12 to 24 months, right after when COVID hit. Because all of a sudden people realized and remembered that, oh yeah, you got hyperinflation, there's scarcities of all of these materials, so these material stocks should be going higher. And that's why you're seeing 2, 4, 600% gains and rises in the prices of these stocks. I mean, from 6 to almost 100. Just think about that. That is a 2-year span. March of 2020, $6. March of 2022, it hit $98. And it was justified. So that's why sometimes when I come out of left field with a company that nobody's talking about, just because, it's not in the mainstream radar, or, kids aren't talking about it on TikTok, or it's not big on YouTube or something like that, just remember, this is why I always bring up companies like Mattel. I made a video on Mattel stating it was undervalued, looking at the numbers, and my video on Goodyear Tire, which I'm very, very adamant about. I consistently bring that up in every video moving forward because I'm telling you guys, the stock now is at $11 and change. And I'm telling you, we're going to turn around in a few years, and that's going to be minimum a $40 or $50 stock, because that's where it should be. That's where it's supposed to be. And the numbers usually will always back up the growth of a stock. When you have your new age tech companies like your Robloxes and your Palantirs, yes, they're all going to explode immediately in the short term, because these are companies that young people know, they're familiar with. They want to buy some shares for long term. They don't look at the balance sheets or the actual numbers of the company. They just know who the CEO is, or what the product is, or even something like DraftKings, as I mentioned. DraftKings, terrible balance sheet, absolutely horrendous. It's like the elevator doors opening from The Shining with all the red that you see on that company on that company's financial statements. But what happened? The stock came out at $7.50, I think. It jumped up to like $10, $12 a share, and then they took it to like $60, $70 a share or something like that. None of that was justified. Even now, if we look it up, I think it's sitting at like 12, 12 and a quarter on a day like today. Market's up 600, 700 points. Even that's overvalued. I already said it was a $10 stock. They pulled it down to 10. I made the video saying we're going to see a short-term bump of 14 to 14 and a half. That's exactly where they took it, and then they pulled it back to around $10, and now you're seeing another rebound up to 12 and change. These companies are trading at these levels because these are the levels that they're supposed to be trading at. And when I look at a company like Alcoa, again, more fair valued than a lot of the other stocks that I brought to the table here on this channel. If you watch a lot of my videos, it seems, I can't say it's a definite thing, but it seems more concrete. There's more concrete evidence showing that companies like Robinhood are overvalued, and companies I recommend like Goodyear Tire are undervalued. And again, a company like Alcoa, right now, you could say it's fair valued because they did bring it up a bunch. But at the same time, again, conservatively, we look 2.5, 3, even 5 times revenue to market cap ratio. And the company's bringing in $10, $12, $13 billion a year. And right now they got a market cap of $9.25 billion. Short term, could be volatile. Long term, in my opinion, it's a buy. It's a buy, excuse me, and we saw almost 100 before I made the video, and before any scarcities or heaven forbid, a war starts. So, I mean, long term, I think it is most likely, more than likely, going to get back to 100 and even north of that. If we do happen to enter into a war, or if materials, again, like steel or aluminum that this company does, become more scarce, then you're going to see 150, potentially even $200 a share. And, these spikes all the way up to 90, and then it hit 98 here. I mean, it now has this long-term high support. And I'm telling you, if this U-turns here and comes back up and touches this $90, $100 level, in my opinion, it's going to break out. And you're going to start seeing $120, $140, $150 a share. So again, another long-term investment for you guys to keep an eye on. Traders, I know you guys are, always looking for that quick buck, and you want to know where this is going to be next week. You want to know where it's going to be next month. And honestly, in my opinion, I can't tell you. But this is a one-year chart, and you can see slow and stable growth. They have pulled it back over the last couple of months, but, in my opinion, not the worst place for you to park a few dollars long-term, especially since it's a material that we're going to need, and they also pay you a dividend to own it. So once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. Moving forward, everyone involved in the market, I wish everyone success. I hope you guys make a couple of dollars across the board. And again, I bring these companies to you guys. I look at low PEs. I look at undervalued market caps. I check the balance sheets. Make sure all my T's are crossed, all my I's are dotted before I make a video. And, if I go into a company and it's fair valued and I don't see how it could go lower, or I don't personally see how it could go higher, that's exactly what I'm going to say in the video. And I will, man up and be honest and just tell you guys 100% the truth and say, I don't know what's going to happen here. But in my opinion, again, we got a beta here a little north of 2, so it can get volatile short term. But long term, in my opinion, I like this one. I like these material companies, and I like a company like Alcoa. So again, Stocks by the Numbers. Thanks for stopping by. If you like the content I'm putting out, give me a thumbs up on the video. Like everyone says, it really helps out the algorithms, and it is true. And if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. I'll put out, 3 videos a day, 3 videos a week, whatever you guys want me to do. Leave it down in the comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how you like the content. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns on Alcoa, don't be afraid to voice your opinion in the comment section. We could do a little back and forth. Again, I have my personal Discord in the description, so you guys can come in, we can chat, we can go a little back and forth. I welcome all comers, all conversations. But again, thanks for stopping by, and have a good day.